because there was no pressure, he gets a nice shot. Okay, freeze. Okay, first thing, Chris needs to be heels to the sideline and John needs to be heels to the sideline. That's going to spread their defense, allowing us to pass the ball. Okay, Stian comes back, but he doesn't check his shoulders, so he's not seeing John open on the right side, and he sees that Chris is covered, so he decides to dribble, and look what happens. He gets closed by 2 players and loses. So Kyle wins the ball, he presses into the middle, and then freeze. Watch. So I want Carson to first scan his shoulder so he's aware of where Mason is, close that gap by getting closer to Chris, and then you'll have a nice 3-man formation in the back to avoid that pass. Okay, I'd like to see John wider, but Chris plays it across, and then Chris goes up and switches with Stian. That's exactly what I want to see. All right, Justice is dribbling at John. Chris needs to be back behind John to help protect against this shot. And Jonah is running forward as the shot is taken by Justice. He needs to have already set his feet on his toes so that he can make the save. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that I want you guys to get wide. Okay, you guys keep getting narrow. The second you win the ball, you need to get your heels to the sideline. Okay, and if you check into that space, you need to get out of that space if you don't get the ball so someone else can. Okay, I'm saying John, get open. All right, and Stian gets into the space, but he doesn't recognize that John was trying to get into that space too and switch. Okay, so you got to be able to know what you're doing, but also what your teammates are doing. Okay? Now we're going to watch Kyle, and he's going to be falling away taking this shot, and we're going to teach him how to fix it. Kyle's too tight to Justice here, so he needs to be backed up so that when it does pop free from Justice, he can sprint at the ball, his momentum will go through it, and he'll have power and score the goal. Same thing with Max here. See his body positioning right now? How he's leaning away from the ball, right? His momentum needs to be going through it so that he falls forward after the shot. With that being said, that's an awesome shot that Max took and a great position that he put himself in. Keep trying to anticipate those shots from that position when it pops free. I love that Mason started wide, which created space in the middle for him. One thing, Mason, is you got to check your shoulder and know where your space is, because you would have noticed that Justice and Max are too tight to you, and you could have just turned and went back instead of passing it where Kyle gets stuck between Carson, John, and Stian all in the middle. Okay, now we're looking at corners. Here you got John pressing Justice right there, which means that Kyle and Mason are open in the middle because Stian hasn't recovered enough yet. Justice tries to find Kyle, but another option that he should notice is that when Stian covers Kyle, that leaves Mason open. Okay, so play the ball back to Mason. Mason take a touch in and a shot. Okay, this is important because this could be a breakaway goal because look at 4 players on the other team are running behind the goal. Carson needs to open his body up so he's facing the whole field so that when he receives it, he can take a touch straight to goal, sprint, and then get a shot off. And if you were to rewind this, you'll notice that Carson didn't scan his shoulder and notice that, and that's why he took that first touch forward and he lost the ball. So scan your shoulders, Carson, all right?